This is J Randy here. Good morning to everyone. This is J Randy here. Thank you for joining me here. Thank you so much for joining me. I know it's a very busy day for you guys, but I just wanted to take this time out to just give you what I have on my mind in regards to the situation happening in the country. Every Liberian is entitled to express his or her opinions, provide some recommendation, make some suggestion, and I think as a Liberian myself, I'm entitled to that. And please join me and share this video here because it's very important, and I want you to hear my side. All right, so I am inviting few people here, and then from there I will start the show. Let me see. I'm going to invite everybody here, friends, folks, no acquaintance. Everybody will be invited here today, so that I can have my say and get out of here. So there are a lot of people I'm inviting here today. Some are getting prepared to go to church. At least they will catch it later. But I just wanted to be part of this stuff here. Let me see. Wow, my hands are getting tired. I got the other phone here. Oh, my boy Ashford got it. Big brother got it. I see Michael here. I see. Let me see how far we are. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here. This is J Randy here. I know whenever I'm on, I have people who are dedicated to come and listen to me. And I would like to say big thank you for tuning in to join me here. I'm not going to hold you guys for a very long time. I just want you to take a look at what the topic going to be, or the focus of my discussion going to be this morning. Because I believe that as Liberian, there are times that our common denominator should represent our common goal for the interest of our country. We cannot allow certain people to want to override our country. Think about this. You and I don't have no long life here. There is no guarantee that you and I will live here forever. The same guarantee that those who established Liberia from 1847, they didn't get to live to see today. You and I will not get to live to see 20 to 30 or 40 years from now, depending on your age. But what we can do is to leave a blueprint, is to leave a legacy that the next generation will be able to template on and improve our lives. So let me do the few share here, and then my focus will be my recommendation. Yesterday, if you didn't watch my show, I started with posting, and I'm standing by Mr. Cummings to tell Mr. Cummings that he need to part ways with CPP. That was my advice to him yesterday, because they did a political plot to humiliate him and disgrace him. Now, I want you to understand this. I'm not speaking because somebody has given me money to talk for them. No. If they give me money, then I will give them more strategy. But when it comes to playing the fair, when it comes to being Liberia-centric, this is where I come in. I can come in for you today if somebody is taking advantage of you. I can come to say negative things about you when you're saying things that affect the society. So I want you to see me as a universal person within the Liberian community on Facebook. I only stand by you when disadvantage is taken on you. I will only come against you. Those of you who know me from CDC, the Finance Minister and myself, we are friends. Best of friends. I could have been in Morovia there getting free money and just keeping my mouth shut and saying nothing about it. But do I feel that's the right thing to do? That will be left with my conscience after I die. Some people don't care. Some people really don't care. Think about the Finance Minister, all right, Mr. Toy. Mr. Toy and I was here from 2003. Mr. Toy and myself went to Tottenham together. Mr. Toy and myself sat down in my old Saturn. Those of you guys that know the name of car. Mr. Toy and myself sat down in my Saturn together. I could have gone with Mr. Toy. I could have gone with Mr. Toy the very time he came here in March of 2018 and said, come here, let's go to Liberia. I could have gone. I could have gotten a lot of money that I wanted to come and sit down here. But sometimes this opportunity should not trade your value, your love for your country. And that's who I am. Maybe y'all will not see today what I'm fighting for. Maybe when I'm dead and gone. You know, normally when musical stars are getting boring to the people, when they die, they start go up. In the case of DMX, Michael Jackson, maybe when something like that happened to Randy, you want to say, oh, Randy was a good guy. Well, before you think about that, I'm here to tell you guys what I believe. All right? So let me just try to invite friends here from my page, and then we'll move on with the show here. All right? So I'm not going to hold you guys for long. If you're down there, just do your part. Try to share the show as well, too. But I just want to provide this suggestion here to Mr. Cummings, and I will be out of here. Because tonight we'll have to come back and go into the video presentation of the show. So let us do what we can do here now. Let me see where I am here. Okay, I see myself right here. I see myself right here. Okay. I see Brother Amos George here. Thank you so much, Brother Amos George, for joining me here. Please share the video if you don't mind. Please share the video if you don't mind here. I'm doing the same thing here. Invite your friends. Put it on your timeline. Those that want to listen, it's up to them to listen. Those that don't want to listen, it's up to them. Each and every one of us, in our own ways, we got our right to do whatever is best for us. And there's nothing wrong with that, folks. There is nothing wrong with that. Yes, there's not. I think I sent out all these things to the people already. Yes, I think I already did. So let me come here. Today's here. Let me come here and I'll go to my friends then here and invite them. All right. And then let me come here. Excuse me. And let me come here and go to the public. And right after the public, I will be right here. All right, so there we are. So guys, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. It's always a pleasure to be here this Sunday morning to have my 2 cents into what is unfolding in Liberia. Yes, I'm not going to go back deep in history, but what I will say to you here, this Sunday is a day that has come many times in many years, and one of these past or years that have passed, you and I one time was in the refugee camp on the very Sunday. You and I were one time in the war. And this day became a very important day for us. The years will go, but the days will remain. You see the months, the 12 months in the year, the 7 days in the week, they all will follow us. The only thing they do, they get rid of all the years. The 70s, the 60s, the 50s, back to the 90s, the months and the year, the months and the week will always go through. But we will not be able to see those years again. But what we can recall from those years are things that happened in the past. Liberia has been in existence for 174 years. We are seeing the worst of everything, from coup d'etat to massive war, and you name it. But what are we taking from there? What are we taking from there? What lesson are we learning from these things? I guess we have become a people who don't care once you springboard into another country, problem over. You don't care for the country. But little do we know that the months and the year will catch up with us one day. One of these days, you and myself will get old. And whatever we do today, there will be time that we cannot reverse it back. As I see Liberia today, I think everything that you and I went through in our country, we are not ready to properly plan for a better future for our country. Yes, we are not ready. Joseph Boca is living longer for a reason. One of the reasons he could have been someone who could educate the young generation how to do the right thing, because Joseph Boca has seen everything. And Joseph Boca could be somebody who will just want to do what he wants to do because he got no long left on earth. And I think the last option is what Joseph Boca is doing today. Think about you living from you 40 years old. Maybe you got about 60 more years left for you. And you're going to be 100 years old. And everything you see today, and when you're 100 years old, and you're telling people the wrong thing. Joseph Boca is not fair. Let me be honest with you. Joseph Boca is not fair. Joseph Boca has served many capacities in our country. And to see how he treated Alexander Cummings, I see no fairness in it. Many times I have come here, many times I have posted things out there describing Alexander Cummings to be a cold cloth setter, to be this. But what Joseph Boca did to Cummings, it again changed the direction of our country. There's no fair play in the game. You can believe all you want, but one day will come, you will sit down and ask yourself, the way the country is going, what role did I play? And why did I play that role? And should I be held accountable for what happened in the country? We went to war. Why do you think we went to war? We went to war because every democratic process, every policy, every regulation we had in our country did not hold water. Everything was leaking. And that's why we went to war. And what did we learn out of the war? We all sat down in Yamoussoukro, in Accra, everywhere you can think about. There were summits from one summit to another. And every country that wanted to see peace in Liberia, they all went to those summits for us. And little by little, we managed to pick up ourselves and we got into elections. But what Joseph Boca did to Alexander Cummings and the others, you know, I'm not surprised at Ure. There's no reason I should be surprised at Ure behavior. Ure took side with Charles to destroy our country. So as far as me judging Ure, I got no reason to judge Ure. Ure is left with him alone. He wants to see the nasty thing. Ure is just like the United Nations. You know the main purpose of the United Nations? The United Nations is almost like someone who got a funeral home. People that run funeral home, they don't pray for you to live. They pray for you to die so that they can have business. The United Nations most of the time pray that there should be instability in many countries that will keep them running. Ure is a guy who wants to see disturbances so that he can benefit. He don't play things fair because that's who he is. That's exactly who he is. They put an organization to go together, but they started to use other people to start insulting Cummings out there. But Cummings had been in this thing with his heart and soul to make sure that we cannot keep doing the same thing over and over. But Boca and Ure look in the face of Cummings and say, we're going to do the same thing. You like it or not, we're going to do the same thing. So I'm calling on Cummings today. He not paying me for this suggestion, the recommendation. Nobody is giving me anything for this. But I'm going to tell him what I believe are the right things to do, because I don't just come on Facebook to talk. I am a strategist, and I have in place a package and recommendation for Cummings today. And I will say this to Mr. Cummings. I am looking forward to you parting ways with the CPP, because you have room to redeem yourself. You have room to recalibrate yourself. And here's what you need to do. Like I said yesterday. Yesterday, I provided advice to Cummings. Today, I'm going to make recommendation to Cummings. My recommendation here to Cummings is, number one, to retreat and part ways with the CPP. They don't like you. They don't trust you. They don't respect you. Those are the negative things that you need to consider to part way with them. Now, what do you do to re-engineer yourself? I'm recommending to you, Cummings, that you begin to establish a new strategy framework. And it should be called the Team Cummings. Yes, T-E-A-M, Team Cummings. Team Cummings should look at the geographic of Liberia and begin to put in place Team Cummings by county. Team Cummings in River G, Team Cummings in Maryland, Teams Cummings in Mossorado County, Teams Cummings in Riverset, and spread them all over like a cancer. And begin to feed them with your message. A message that identifies the problem, a message that provides solution, and a message that looks the direction that you want to go. From now to 2023 is enough time for 10 comings across the county to begin to feed your message to the people. And utilize every means you can. Because the goal here is to get to the second round, if not the first round. When you get to the second round, you will be very, very important to the CDC and whoever is in the second place. I'm telling you now. Failure to do that, Mr. Cummings, I have no other suggestion for you or recommendation. And so if you're here and you are part of the Alexander Cummings team, you need to go back and establish a national team Cummings satellite stations and begin to feed the message to the people. These guys you see on Facebook today, they don't belong to any county in Liberia as far as I'm concerned. They find pleasure sitting down on Facebook like you and myself. I'm sitting down in the comfort of my office here right now. Do I care about what happened in the counties that people live in? No. I don't care for what happened in the county. I got data here. I can sit down here and watch all the drama on Facebook. At the end of the day, I'm going to shut my phone off and walk through that door, see my children having fun, do what I want to do, get on the phone call and wait for another day for another broadcast for me to entertain myself. That's not what I'm here on Facebook for. Because I know that one day will come, just how we today are judging the Tubman era. We judging the Joseph Jenkins Robert era. We judging all the past government era. There will come a time that our children, our grandchildren, will start to investigate and see what we did in our time that got Liberia to where Liberia is today. And that is something that is very, very concerning to me. And I believe that I must do my part. I must do my part. And doing my part is not going to be an easy ride. There are times that I will look at Joe Weah in the face and tell him he's not doing the right thing. There are times that I will look at Booker in the face and tell him that he's not doing the right thing. And there are times that I look at Cummings and tell Cummings that he's not doing the right thing. Why? Because they are all leaders of our country at this moment. And whatever they do is going to affect the general decision of our generation, that when the future generation decide to look at what we did and how we support it or didn't support it, we all will be blamed because of our present at this moment. If you don't understand that, I do understand that. I'm trying to wash my hands from things that will happen in the future when the young generation try to judge us. Joseph Booker got no interest in our country. Let me tell you why and how. The why is Joseph Booker is old enough. He's very, very old. Joseph Booker can cause any damage today. He doesn't have long left to live. He can destroy that country today, and in years to come, he will be dead and gone. And some of the things will be irreversible. Our democracy is in the contemporary politics of Liberia, and it is time for us to put in the foundations. And the foundation means we should learn to do the right things in the right way for the right reason. Those of you who support Joseph Booker today, are you supporting Joseph Booker to defend the future of your country? Or are you supporting Joseph Booker to defend your pocket and your personal interests? If the answer is yes, let me ask you this. Will it be fair for Joseph Booker to just get up and few people say they nominated him when you have a democratic process where the voices of people count? Joseph Booker was nominated in 2017 to take on George Weah. What process or processes did he pass through to still be the leader, to be representing the Unity Party within the CPP? Do you understand the principle, the full principle of democracy? Do you really understand that? Do you understand that? Do you understand the full principle of democracy? Let me just take a step away from my seat here and give you a card here. I need to show you guys something here. All right? Because for me, when I'm doing this thing, I always like to present visual aid here so that people can see here. Let me see what are the full principles here. I don't want to take my seat until I make sure it is in my hand because it's a deck of cards that I have here. So please bear with me. I'm looking through them. I think you can hear the sound back there. So let me see here. The full principle of democracy. I need to find that for you guys so that I can show it to you guys here quickly here. I think it might be in the other badge here. If not the other badge, it should be in the other badge. I am confident that it's in the other badge here. So let me look through this quickly here. All right. Because I really want to show this thing to you guys here. I believe in visual aid teaching because that's my style of teaching. And I think that will help you guys to actually understand my point here. I don't mean to be rude to just walk away from the camera, but I'm just trying to present something to you guys that just came up to my mind quickly here. So let me not waste my time and come right back here. Since I cannot find it. I could give it to you guys right away. I think it's right here. Yeah, I think it's right here. All right, it should be here. The full principles. If I cannot find it, then I just have to recite it to you guys here quickly here, right? All right, I can't find it here. All right, it's not here. It's not in my top full presentation package here, but I think I have it here. All right, it's sad I cannot find it right now, so let me not waste your time here because I just want to wrap things up quickly here. Last call. If I cannot find any last call, that's fine. There's so many of them here. All right, okay, so it's not here in the last call, but here's the thing here. There are 4 principal pillars of democracy. One is total representation. Total representation. Like I always tell you guys, within our democracy, we have presidential representation, where we go and vote for president. And we also vote for elected officials. But when it comes to representative election or democracy, we don't have that. Representative democracy is where people within a political party, people within a community, and people within a county they are giving the voices to elect their superintendent, to elect their party leader, to elect their city mayor. We are not reached that far. How you think we should get there? We should be able to get there by people who are in leadership, setting in place or putting in place the proper channel that we should follow to go through. Joseph Boakai, as the standard bearer against Weah in 2017, lost that election, but he still maintained himself as the standard bearer. And they put themselves together as a collaborating political party. There's nothing wrong. I want you to understand it. There is nothing wrong to come together as a group of political parties to establish an alliance for a common goal. But when it comes to who will represent, just as they go into the World Cup, all clubs or all country teams will participate in the FIFA process, right? But you must merit your time to get to the World Cup. How do you get to the World Cup? By the FIFA democratic rule, you must play countries. The few days you're operating Lone Star and playing the few days. How you think Lone Star can just get up and go to the World Cup or whatever club, game they're playing to get there? Because there is a process that everybody must go through. Take that same idea, apply it to a democratic process. If they have called the 4 political parties to sit at the table and only strategize ways to defeat George Weah, that's fine. But when you start to come out and say, we want to have a representation on the table by political parties, then Boakai should be going through a convention where the people will represent him. Because you know why? That collaborating political party that came together, it should have been the chairman of every political party, because the election is over. All right? The election is over. And when election ends by democratic rules, the standard bearer that were nominated for each political party should be stepping aside and the party chairman comes in. So in the case of the collaboration, it will be the chairman of the Unity Party, the chairman of the ANC, the chairman of the ALP, and the chairman of the Liberty Party will all sit down to the table and begin to strategize. If they decide that they want to have a standard bearer or a designated person who they believe could take down George Weah, then the party chairman will go back to the party and say, this is why we came out with. Here are some of the recommendations here. We are asking now to have a representation that would, in the end, take on George Weah, to take George Weah down. Then each political party, based on their bylaw and constitution, will then now have their own internal democratic total representation where they will vote. Cummings will be in the ANC along with other ANC aspiring to see where they will be elected to be represented at the CPP. Ure will do the same thing. Boakai will do the same thing. Those steps were eliminated by Boakai. And Boakai only came and said, I am being represented. No Ure, Nada, Nombikanga came out to object to any of those things. only Cummings alone got up and said, I had to go back to my party to see whether I can be represented here. Are you firing me here, ladies and gentlemen? You live in America here. These are things that people do. These are processes that people follow. And those things were not followed in the country over there. And Booker sat over there and bypassed the entire process. And then you got people who supporting Booker. Look at the people that are supporting Booker today and ask yourself, who are these people? Where do they live? What do they do for a living? Why are they supporting Booker? Ask yourself the fundamental question. Look at Omen Booker. Does he have 10 years, 20 years to live for now? I'm not God. But with his ailing health, even if he live up to 20 years from now, what can he do? That has all he is. He will start to fall short to some of the aging problem that every old age person get. And when he sit there and start to do things illegally, unacceptable to our society, and nobody seeing anything about that, all because we Liberians have been trained to just follow things and not even challenge those things. So again, I'm calling on Cummings to stay away from the CPP. They are not in your interest. They set him up to be what he is today. He was part of the ANC when another guy started to throw monkey wrench into his participation in the club. Yes. How can you be part of the organization and somebody keep insulting you, creating division? Because that was the plan. How can you be in an organization and somebody from the outside start to create division? You guys are planning for your Armageddon. I feel sorry for the people on the ground. I don't understand what some of us are saying here. Liberians on the ground, you are planning for your Armageddon. Let me tell you guys this. During the war, when the war was launched in 1989, those are all that were on the ground. What we thought, oh, the rebel will just come today, they will go to the mansion, and they will take door, and then we'll go back. But that journey, when that rebel entered our country, some of us still walking away from Liberia. Have we learned our lesson? Have we learned our lesson? Oh, Booker is our man. JMB must go. You ask one JMB supporter, why should JMB be president? The only thing they will give you, JMB must go. Joseph Booker was defeated by George Weah because after all the years that his supporter claimed to have, he could not use one of his experiences to convince the Liberian people. And he has sat down for 2.5 years now, going on 4. And now he coming back with no clear message. And Liberians are sitting there and supporting him. Who are we? When the man with the lawnmower who look at Joe Booker and say he's a dead man walking. And say Joseph Booker said he will compliment everything that Ellen did. And you're sitting down there and allowing somebody like that to play on your mind. To play on your mind. The man who won't tell you, say, Joseph Booker is the dead man walking. We all know flinch. The man who told you that Joseph Booker said he will use everything that Ellen got. And the same man coming to you. Especially you that in America here, in Europe, and coming to you and telling you that the man is the rightful man. But he's not telling you, and you're not even asking, but why Joseph Booker did not go through his party democratic process. Even if the party got that fake and biased rules, what value is Joseph Booker adding to the party? If the people say Joseph Booker was nominated in 2017, and according to the constitution of the party, Joseph Booker must remain, then why do we have a democratic process? That there should be none. It should be a unitary process. There should be no reason for people to have election within the party. Just have a board of people who will just select people. It shouldn't be about election, but selection. Joseph Booker wants to introduce selection into our democracy because he got nothing to lose. What Joseph Boyka had done is called selection and not election. And what Cummings is doing. That's why I'm calling on Alexander Cummings. This is a free advice to Mr. Cummings. Disconnect yourself from the CPP. Re-engineer yourself. Think about a strategy called the Team Cummings strategy. Team Cummings strategy should be geographically covering the entire 15 counties. Have a satellite Team Cummings for River G County. Have a satellite Team Cummings for Muscle County. Have a satellite Team Cummings for Grand Cayman County. Have a satellite Team Cummings across the entire country. You got 1 year to go to make sure that that program is saturated among our people across the various county. Your goal should be to get to the second round. And then when you will become a valuable asset. You have been on the ground for a very long time now. You understand the nuts and bolts about what the people want. The only amazing part for you, Cummings, is your ability now to begin to strategize. I know some of them will come here to steal my idea because that's what they do for a living. That's what they do for a living. From the CDC government to the opposition to all of them, they steal all my strategy. Because I've been in the game for a very long time. But they will not come back here. All right? It's time in favor of Cummings now. Look at the other guy here. You see Liberians? Let me tell you about the Liberian man, all right? I'm going to take a break a little bit because this guy, I'm going to define who the guy. The guy is just a symptom of some of our fellow Liberians. What did I say from the beginning of the show? You see one of my Liberian men, some of them, I feel sorry for them. And I'm not going to use any phrase here to inclusively bring people in. Did I say I'm in favor of Cummings here when I started the show? You see, the white man, when he gets somewhere, he will sit down and listen for some time. But the Liberian man, as soon as he gets somewhere, even when he gets there 5 minutes, 10 minutes late, while he hear you talking at that moment, he base his question and his mindset on it. That's who the guy is. So that will not waste our time. These are the guys then that Lamar guy continue to use in this place. And he enjoy using them. Because they don't have quantitative reasoning. You know the reason why your child will be given a quantitative test in this country? Is because it is very important that they must have that quantitative skills to be able to evaluate and understand things. So let's get back to the topic here, all right? So, I am calling on Cummings to disembark himself from the the CPP. Stay away from them. They are one of the most dangerous groups that don't mean well for that country. Look at all of them. The URE. What character does URE have in that country? URE beyond Caribbean where he lives. Who knows URE on the highway going to Margibi County? Who knows URE on the highway going to Kakata? Who knows URE on the highway going to Cape Man? Nobody. He is one of the most selfish person in the world that I have ever seen before. When it comes to carrying on dubious things, he is the master of this game. And that's what he wants to do. URE doesn't believe in equity, where everybody should have their own share. He wouldn't believe in promoting his family. Who in URE orbiter that ever run any of his businesses other than his children? Who can come out here today and honestly tell you about the things that URE had done? URE are a maritime. He destroyed maritime throughout. He destroyed maritime through us. Throughout the whole process, he destroyed maritime. During the Eddie administration, he naked a woman who went down there that he accused of doing something that could not be verified. And that's the person that Boyka. As far as going to join CDC, it's too early to do that. Because CDC cannot be trusted too. I don't trust CDC. Why it is true that I campaign for CDC, I have learned a great deal of lesson from CDC. I don't trust CDC. President Weah is not a people person. He is selective in doing people things. So I will not allow Cummings to just join CDC now. And that's why I'm asking Cummings to re-strategize himself by establishing the team Cummings across the country. And his goal for doing that is to be able to have a bigger foot in the next round. Because by then, CDC will be coming to him, or the same Unity Party people will want to come to him because they know who he is now in the second round. And now when Cummings can dictate what he wants through some type of agreement that will be legal and binding. But to join now, no. No. Cummings must remain a hero now and not a helper. Because what CPP had done to Cummings, they have reduced him from a hero of his party to now a helper. A helper does not have too many leverage. He can be put anywhere, he can be pushed anywhere. So for Cummings to remain a hero, he needs to stay away from all political parties and do exactly what I just said, hoping that he could win the election as well. But if he doesn't win and they go to the second round, it will still make him a valuable access to the party process, the 51 plus. And that when now he can begin to negotiate as the highest bidder. He should make himself to be the swing party. Wherever he goes, he wins. But what we're making to be that person is the ability to have a problem, identify all the problem, to have a what? A solution to the problem and the direction he wants to take the country. If you look at Joseph Boakai, he has been defeated 42 years in government. Ure have been in that country and also damaged the future of that country. Comments, you need to understand that. We are who came as the golden child that we campaign for. We are stock is down today. We are stock is down today. And he must bring it up. And he's not doing so well with that. Because people who support we are only supporting we are with biased feelings. And they are even turning against their own sedition. So you, Cummings, you have to redefine yourself looking at the two things I just said here. You are not doing anything wrong, Cummings. You still need to go and take a holy bath in the Atlantic Ocean to redeem yourself. You are not corrupt, and I'll give it to you. You are not in the process of joining these guys to do the wrong thing because you just prove it to balk at them. So you still stand a better chance, Cummings. You need somebody who will be very upfront with you like I am doing now. Forget about Asivato trying to praise you, everything you do. Where you wear Madano socks and come outside looking funny that he say it look good though. You need somebody who will challenge you to tell you the truth. Because if the house don't sell you, the street will not buy you. Politics is about people being vigilant, people being strong and telling you the truth. We tested George Weah, and George Weah is not strong enough to withstand some of the constructive criticism out here. My videos are out there. Mr. Weah did not take one advice from me today. None. Because of the people he got around him. So I'm giving it to you now, Cummings. This is a free advice. Free advice. I am now a strategist on this platform within the Liberian community. I don't sit on Facebook and only talk about the problem. I provide solution and strategy to the problem. That's who I am. That's what I do for a living. I make your life better. It's not about who Cummings is. It's about being Liberia-centric. Ure is not Liberia-centric. Boakai is not Liberia-centric. Weah is trying to be Liberia-centric, but he's not Liberia-centric enough. Cummings, you are looking in the direction of importing or introducing Liberia centricity in the country, and you must stand by it and not be deterred by anything. Because you guys will be the one that the next generation will judge tomorrow. I'm telling you guys. When your school teams are today, the days of Joseph Jiggin Rabba or to Samuel Kayondu will no longer be a discussion on the table. It will start from Ellen, Weah, and whoever will come after Weah. That's what will be discussed in the year 2065. Are you guys willing to make that mistake? Will you be in a classroom? Will your situation be in a classroom of young Liberians in the future where they will be discussing the errors that you guys are making today? It's not too late yet. It is not too late for you guys. Whether you're a sedition, you come here, I ain't got for them but you. Because you guys are one of the deceptive people. Some of you guys, from your own president, I don't open up to nobody. I don't open up to nobody. It's very sad. It's very, very sad. And John Weah must be able to accept what I'm telling him today. Look at the number of people that CDC had in the past. But because certain group of people, and Cummings, you need to learn that too. Because if you don't do it, the divide and rule game will exist forever. The divide and rule game will exist in our country, and it will be the elephant versus the grass. And only the grass will suffer. Many of you guys watching me here today, you are not born with silver spoon in your mouth. That means you are part of the grass. Your children were born with silver spoon in their mouth. Barker was born as a grass, but he had transformed himself to be an elephant. We were born as a grass, but we had transformed himself to be an elephant now and don't care for the common people. Yes, we don't care for the common people. If we believe that he lived in a swamp in West Point and in Clapperton, when some of us are making statements, we will come and listen to us. Look at Samuel 12, for example. We all used to walk in Tottenham Hall down there and go and get beans to eat. But today, they're sitting over there. Let me tell you guys one thing. I lived in the Jew administration. There used to be a guy called G. Alvin Jones, Finance Minister of Liberia. During the Doe era, those guys that were in government, they used to go from one place to another, open the car trunk, and you will see US dollars with the Doe coins. And nobody thought that day was going to come to an end. But where are they today? They are nowhere. So let them do what they can do today. Every one of you guys who enjoy illegally and the people are suffering over there, one by one, that money will go away. And there will be few that will be left for the next generation to see, as in the case of Jenkins Scott. Some of you guys in government today and some of you guys are supporting the government. God will keep some of you guys alive. And you will bear the consequences of what you're doing today. You will cry for death, and death will not come your way. You saw that woman giving water to Jenkins Scott? Those are all who knew who Jenkins Scott was during the Doe time. When we saw that image, we had to clean our eye like this and take a second look. Because he was one of the fearful men during the Doe administration. But that year, he ended. My point here is, all these guys you see passing around here today, oh, they this, they that, they will all wait up one day. Their season will come to an end. And you guys will be saying, yes, that's left. But you know who will be the victim? The incoming generation and the country will be the victim. Because from 1847 to 2021, there have been series of people in the country that have enjoyed. But Mama Liberia has always been the victim. From the natural resources, to war, to chaos, to death. She takes in everything. But we don't make her to shine among other countries. We allow her to just be used by individual. And with that, we're supporting it. You think everybody going to listen to me today? No. There are some people that God made in Liberia that will see the wrong and support it. No matter what you do, I can take all my clothes here and talk to you guys, which will not be a pleasant thing to do, but it's not going to change their mind. Some of them have already made up their mind that this is why they will support. But you can be the change, because tomorrow you might be the one that will be left here to live here for 110 years, and your children will be coming to you and will start pointing at you. You used to live back there. They're the one who messed the country up. And you cry for death, but death will not come your way. Because it is you that God will destine to be here to feel all the pain. And there will be no way that you turn the hands of the clock back, because you're now living in a time where you can make the change that you want. Parker don't get a damn for Liberia. He didn't get a damn for a single Liberian that is born today. Every older people who have lived a longer life, they have seen the bad things, the good, the bad, the worst, and the ugly. They have seen it. Parker should be the one to be calling for a fair and open democratic process. But here you go. He's sitting down there, and because of his own selfish ego, he taking side with people who destroy the country. Is you somebody for Boca to go and sit next to? Is you somewhere? You who have been sanctioned by the United Nations, the American government, and Boca they're taking side with him to derail our democratic process. And many of you guys sitting down there and watching this thing happening, and not nobody. What if it was we who had done such a thing? What you think a lot more people will be doing? No, lot more guys, and what you think they'll be doing? Oh, we are saying you're going to the people, you're going to represent this. But when it comes to you, there is no Liberia centricity. Being centric and being Liberia centric is to put the core values of things that we all consider to be our national pride. That's what centricity is. So when you hear the African Americans say, I want to be more Afrocentric, I believe in Afrocentricity. The African American are telling you in this country, now, they dress like African, they wear the beads because they are African, and they believe in what we African are neglecting every day. And that's what they mean by Afrocentricity. Take that idea, let us be Liberia-centric. What are the core values that we judge things on? If we have a political party that is operating in the framework of democracy, what are the principles of democracy? Total representation, equality, justice, and equity. Those are the 4 principal things we have. So when it comes to equality, when it comes to total representation, what Joseph Boakai did over there, is it right to Cummings? Because there are people in Liberia who looking up to Cummings too. What Joseph Boakai, Nomdi Kanga, they see Nomdi Kanga here. Let me talk about her a little bit here. Charles Walker Bronsky, while he was alive, he challenged Joseph Boakai and told us on front page. That transcript is still online. Go and Google it. Charles Bronsky criticized Boakai for 9 million. Just type that phrase in. Charles Walker Bronsky of the Liberty Party, may his soul rest in peace, came up with a long piece, a 2-page document, explaining how Joseph Boakai maintained a $9 million in his office, even up to the Ebola era. And his party did not support that idea. And Joseph Boakai never backed down on that. And Nomdi Kanga today sitting over there and praising Joseph Boakai. Where is the party value that you stand by? Republican in America will say we should allow Bible to be preached in the school, in public school. Democrats are saying no. That the 2-party philosophy. Which one do you believe in? Whatever Charles Walker Bronsky tried to bring to that party called Liberty, Nomdi Kanga dumped everything yesterday. Standing over there and praising Boakai. There are times that they must come to a point where they must agree on certain value within the party. The country is ruined. Liberia is being destroyed mainly by the people in the diaspora. Every bad thing that happened to Liberia, the diasporan Liberians who have been engaged are the ones who destroying that country. Look at the other one they call Alari Tokba. Alari Tokba is now sitting in Minnesota there, right? But back in the days, they were in Liberia passing around making fool out of our young brothers and sisters who are now parents today. But what happened to Alari Tokba? The mess he created in Liberia, he don't have the means to go there now. Not because he don't have money to go to Liberia. When I mean means, there is no good health system for his age right now. There is no retirement fund. Guess what he's sitting now? He's sitting now in Minnesota there now. Depending on people who fought for equal justice in the country, everybody of age and in age should benefit. He's not getting benefit from the American government. He's not getting benefit from the state of Minnesota. But this is the men who are in Liberia, convincing people for the wrong reason. But because their intent was only for themselves, they ran away and came here. And do you think that mindset is going to be over? You wait. You will have your own commentary after the news. These guys then who are telling you today, you do this, you do this. You all need to ask yourself, where are they living? And where am I living? What guarantee do they have if things go wrong? And what guarantee do I have when things go wrong on the ground here? How many children do I have? How many of them in school right now? And where are their children? Those guys that are making the noise behind, where are their children? I will tell you, my children in America here. My children in America here. Maybe they might not tell you where their children are. I'm telling you, my children in America here. But I'm here telling you the truth. That if anything go down in Liberia, I will not feel it. But what I'm doing here is I'm telling you the truth, that those guys are telling you and leading you in the wrong direction. The Ure you see over there, Ure's daughter is in Canada going to school right now. And he knows how to play his card very well. When we were in Liberia in the 90s, when the war started, Tida Ure were in America going to school. When the war subsided, Tida Ure gone back. Today, Ure is back again, making ask all of you guys on the ground, wherein his other daughter is going to school. Don't you think you or your daughter should be going to school as well? Where are Boka children? Anyone in our country there and make all that noise. Beyond Samuel Kayando in America here. When the war was raging here, did you see Konosio Robert Salif? Did you ever hear any Konosio Robert Salif? No. Robert Salif was in North Carolina sitting down there. All cheering him. But they were using you guys. Aldo was the bad man. And they put your heads together. But when the war ended and Eddie took office, the Konosio Robert Salif you never saw. He came and went straight over Nokao. And now he fucked Nokao up. He's not even living in the country now. He's living in Ghana. Have we learned our lesson? We haven't learned our lesson yet. The fundamental original sin of every country is illiteracy. But every country, including the great United States we have lived and continue to live, they came up with a strategy that the original sin of all countries on the face of the planet is illiteracy. But how do we fight it? The American policymakers got together and they said, one of the ways that we should fight illiteracy is to make sure that every child, before you reach the age of 18, you must be a high school graduate. 12 years of mandatory education will help to reduce the illiteracy in America. Liberia said 1847. They even make original sin the worst. There is no educational policy in our country that will compel your child that he or she not in school. You will be held accountable. You will be held accountable. But some people enjoy the pleasure. That's why today in America, you will not find Obama child going to Europe to go to school. It will be by choice. You will not find Donald Trump grandchildren going to school abroad. It will be by choice. You will not find anybody in America here because the people believe in their country. They believe in their country. But all our political activists, their children in America, even the new ones, they came here and born their children and live in America here. But they're telling you guys, do you think about River G? I think about River G all the time. I'm concerned right now about the guy who is 50 years old in River G that woke up today. I don't even know who is his representative and what hope does he or she have for the next 5 years to come. Do you think about that? Do you have that empathy? Do you really have that empathy? And this is where I believe that communists need to focus. We need a focus group. By the way, speaking about focus group, I'm putting out the invitation to every meaningful Liberian. I'm trying to establish a focus group. It's not going to be a political focus group, but we will be discussing political issues that have the propensity to affect the life of your relative back home. Well, we sit down on Zoom or whatever means, whether it Teams, I don't know whether Teams is utilized in the public domain today. But I would like to use Teams because I love Teams. Well, we can sit on Facebook and begin to discuss these guys. What is Boka objective? What has Boka achieved over the year that he can translate today that will make sense to us? What we has done for the year he been there. And how do you know? How has it impacted the life of the people? How can a man who in the diaspora want to convince you when he is living his life and gaining more opportunity of his life, but he telling you to do the wrong thing in Liberia? How can that work? When we have seen past advocates who went and risked their lives, Steve Biko in South Africa, Nelson Mandela in South Africa. Those people made the greatest sacrifices in our country. But you got Liberian advocates that sitting abroad. Their children going to school. Tomorrow is school. They have the choice to be online or they have the choice to be in person. They got Joe Biden coming out and telling them every employer, every school should make sure they protect the kids. But they will get up in the morning, in the afternoon, and come and bullshit on Facebook and tell you, you got a guy who stole $45,000 and sitting down in North Carolina there, and nothing happened to him. But he's sitting there and thousands of people watching him. Where is our Liberia centricity? Until we define who we want to be as a country and people. What are the core values that nobody should be above, but everybody should be below that? We are going nowhere. We'll only become a country of individual and personal attachment to. That's how we're going to be. I'm a citizen. I stay with the CDC. I don't have no core value that Liberia will be measuring me by. I'm a unity party man. I don't have no value. If we don't have any common denominator of how we do things, my friend, you can have all the big shoulders. Some of us been around for a very long time. We saw the Louis Y. We saw the Martin Brown. We saw the RAW. We saw the Quincy T. We saw all the people in Liberia that used to pull crowd. We have seen it before. We've been there and done that. It didn't pay no dividend. It didn't take Liberia 1 inch from the problem we have. So today, in the modern era of technology, you're sitting there on Facebook. The year started a few months ago. This is the 9th month. How many times have you not sat down on Facebook? What change have you seen in the country when Boca is coming up and trying to rewrite our democracy by not giving full participation with transparency and equality and total representation? And some of you guys there, oh, Boca this. You know one of the reasons why you guys have an advantage? Because you live in other people's countries and you don't feel what the other people on the ground feel. You guys used to be wearing one shoe, one slipper, one brief, one pants, one skirt, one blouse. Today, you got multiple of them today. And you don't think about days. You used to have one thing. You don't think about those days. That other people will come right in that same footstep. But how do you prevent it from happening? Once you leapfrog to where you are now, case closed, yada, 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 I don't give a damn, I'm here today. That's the kind of people we want to be. Is that the kind of people we want to be? I am calling on Alexander Cummings. I'm not an ANC person. I, J. Randy, grew up in Liberia, born in Nima County, parent from Lower Grand Judah that is now considered to be refugee. I live in a swamp. I worked to earn my education in Liberia. I suffered to come in the country. I came here on a student scholarship because I know what it means when that country system did not give me the opportunity. I wasn't born with silver spoon. I came here with a visa to go to school. And I know exactly what it means to live in a society that is so gave a lot of people disadvantaged opportunity. Few got opportunity, the majority have less. So when I see things happening to any individual, I come in that position. Whether it's Joe we are being insulted, I will come and defend Joe we are. But if Joe we are doing the wrong thing, I will criticize him. Whether it is Cummings being the wrong person and Cummings is doing the wrong thing, I will come here and talk to Cummings and criticize Cummings. But when Cummings is being taken advantage of because of him not subscribing or abiding by the wrong things that people are doing, I will come here. So I will say this to Cummings people. As a political analyst, as a strategist, Cummings, you need to have all the list of problems in our country identified. You need to design a solution to the problem and the direction you want to take the country. Your first implementation phase is to establish a team coming, T-E-A-M, teams coming across the 15 counties. Team coming River G, team coming Maryland, teams coming Mosorado, teams coming River Cess, teams coming Cape Mount, teams coming Bapolu, Lofa, and begin to feed those 3 components. The problem, the solution, and the direction you want to take the country. Continue to pump those things to the people. By the time election time comes in 2023, your message will be saturated and you just wait to see how it's going to play out. That way, you will defeat the Unity Party people. That way, you will challenge CDC to be a force to reckon with. And should the election go to second round, your commodity will go up high. You been in corporate. You know what to do to make your value go up high. You know what to do. This is an open advice. It's free. Take it from me. Establish a salary location across the 15 counties. Make sure those who are on the ground are actually using everything it takes to propagate your message. Utilize social media. Utilize the local radio station. Get people on the ground. Work with them. Engage them. Back in the day, we used to have cool where people go together and bread farm. Join them. If anybody is in any organization across the country, put something in it, put little share in it, and let them get to see. I know the government and some look, I will see my idea here, but it's free for them. And that's why I don't run behind them for any damn thing. Because I'm too damn good, and I'll praise myself for that. Because they're not thinking about the idea right now. So Cummings, take those ideas, but I want you to be independent. Mr. Cummings, I want you to be independent. Whatever you do not go back to those guys. They didn't love you from day one. They will never love you. If they invite you, is to finally destroy you up. You know, you can harm somebody, but when that person escape, they stand a greater chance of surviving. But when you get caught again, whatever they didn't do to you for the first time, they will end up doing it to you for the last time. So guys, I want to say a big thank you to you guys for this morning. We'll be back here this evening for the video to have more detailed conversation here. Again, I'm not here as a supporter of ANC. I believe in Liberia centricity. I believe in the core values that we all, from different political parties, should measure ourselves. Check in America here. When you move in a new community, don't you want to know about people who are child molester? Check in America here. When you go to the bank, you stand to the back of the line. These are societal core values and principles that America has established that everybody should follow. If you think that Joe Weah is not the better person, Joe Bucker, and you want to represent your party that is requesting for a representation, and you said the people nominated me, and we don't know who the people are, and then Mo Ali coming out and say, oh, he don't hold anybody accountable for XYZ. Then what kind of character is that party? What kind of character is that party? So, what about the confidence too? What about the confidence? Do we like the confidence too? Because confidence will give you
the young people have it, or the DNA thing issue, because like people don't. Sometimes I think like isn't the DNA thing like on my side too? Because like people will say something's wrong, you know, they will keep doing it. They keep doing it.
When I got jammed, I bought it with
of our country got rich. The next thing that people are not living longer, but the youth population will continue to grow. Are we going to wait until someone that directly don't turn 65 years old, someone that women pay 65 years old? No. The youth, we need to help them. The Economic Freedom Group, they are being misguided. They got the idea, they got the group, but they need proper guidelines from most of the experienced people to lead them in the way they should be able to mirror what Julius Lalema is doing in South Africa. We need to make sure that we provide guidance to Martin Colley, who is out there making all the loud noise, to bring out issues and facts so that together we can make this country better. These guys can become senators. These guys can become representatives. These guys can even become president pro tem or president of the country. They are youth. Kenya is building a reservoir of youth population that are focused in other areas. We got to be able to do this thing. While we got youth in every political party, while we got youth in every sector of our country, we should learn. Look at men at Brunsky. Let me get pick on them one at a time. This man served in the government. He had done his part. When Bronski was serving in the charter administration, those that were in other countries serving in the administration, they had all gone into retirement. When Omen Boka was serving in the administration, those that served in other countries with Omen Boka, they had retired and gone into different places. When Mr. Cummins was all doing his job, many of the people in a peer group, they had retired and gone somewhere else. Mr. Ure, he's a businessman, worked for Charles Taylor. All of them perhaps are in their 60s. Why can't they give chance to the young population in their party and provide all top support? Why? Give the young people a chance. Let young faces from the different party come and stand with President Weir. And let's see what the Liberian position will be. But I can guarantee you, there is a highly unlikely possibility that it will bring the old faces by. The election will be determined on a better be with the devil we know than the angel we have seen before. So to turn that around, for two reasons. Bring in young people to give the young population hope. Right now, there is no hope for the young population. And the only way you can regain that hope is to bring young faces to the party. Because you already know what happened in the party. I'm not here to come preach politics today. We're talking about youth empowerment and the way forward. But look at each of these guys, they got their own ego in them. They would not want to go second. They all want to go first. And Liberia has a history where coalition cannot survive for 5 years. From the day of Charles Taylor. So I'm saying tonight, youth in Liberia, they need to pull up with us and be able. What you say, Monibo? You send me a request here? Monibo. Let me take it better. All right, Monibo. Oh, I didn't know. I mean, I got to go my children, so I get 1 minute each. I go my children, I got to get 1 minute. So, Monibo, I bring you on. I'm talking too much. I ain't paying attention to this thing. I'm talking too much. So, I'll bring other one you got. Sorry. I
No, I enjoy your intro. I enjoy your
I
thing.
talking. I didn't even know that you sent me requests because I didn't see the light on. So thank you for reminding us. That put back there. So
Dapo, you're right. Let me tell you, you are very right. But I think we got a serious problem.
And that's what we need to talk about too.
Yeah. The problem we got there is that, you know, if you, in your community, when you see a man from your community just rise up and got money, you after working in government, he just went through the government and got rich, the next thing you won't follow his footsteps.
Okay.
Even our young people, I will tell you something about sports. Our young people who went into football, soccer.
Yeah.
George Weah went professional. Everybody felt like they could go professional, so they were not even rep.
Yeah.
And they started going.
Yeah.
And even our present president who played the football never came back to even tell the guys, say, listen, to be a professional player, you got to go through the rank and file to get there. Because if you just leave from Liberia and jump into Europe, you might be lucky, but 99% of the time, you can't make it. Okay, George was very lucky that they took him from the rank and file, went to Cameroon, and then went all the way. It's a similar with this politics.
Yeah.
Look, I agree we want young people. Let me tell you. I'm sure you have seen this book. If anybody who can serve 10,000 hours on a job, you're a professional. And what we lack in Liberia, we're lacking professionals. We do not have the professionals because you know why? We think that the professionals are very old. Now, you see when it comes to politics on election, nobody can retire. The only time I can retire from politics, maybe your health.
Are you
can't make it
Are you speaking to that retirement on a general platform, or you just limiting it to?
No, you can retire from other jobs, but when it comes to politics, because I heard you talking about Bromsky, I'm not a fan of Bromsky.
But yeah, my point.
Any politician as a whole.
Here's my point here.
Okay.
Right? Here's my point here. We got Bill Clinton today. We
Yeah.
got Obama today. According to the American political system.
Yeah.
People are not going to put a guy in any kind of position, and they themselves will not set up for any other position because
Yep.
it's a system that already been set up. Howard Dean
Yep.
was one time or Senator Barrett. John Kerry was one time. I mean, Howard Dean contested.
Not even Stanley Barry, yeah.
Okay, John Kerry went against George Bush, he lost. These standards are things that give opportunity to other people. So I know you want to talk about Bronsky with these people, but we got our generation, my man. Look at yourself, my man.
I agree.
All right?
I'll get in there. I agree.
Go ahead.
You see, in Liberia, who you were blaming, our own people, they want to go after someone who got the cash.
Is that the right way?
Who got
Is
the
that
cash?
the right way?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about the voters now. Listen, I'm talking about the voters.
That's what I'm saying. The question goes.
But which is wrong.
Okay.
Now, let you hear you in America. You left from Liberia. You came to acquire everything. You came to make life. Now you want to go home. You got home. Some of your friends or family people can say, listen, man, we want you to represent us. You say, okay. Now what they're depending on is that you got the bulk of the cash, no matter what. All they want to do to vote for you, but everybody looking at you, that the man who got the money. Whether you can give them the good ideas, you can put it on the floor. If you don't have that money to move around, the man who got money go against you, he will beat you. You just said 65% of the youth, and you know that the youth, that they don't want doing the voting.
Yes.
They want making a decision.
Yes.
Now, and they're making a decision, but they want, not every, in that 65%, I would say maybe you get about 20% who at least they can think they're going to school.
Yes.
The rest are the ones who just in the street hustling. What you give them is what they follow. If you tell a man, go and vote for me and bring a picture, I will give you $5, he will do it.
So hold on there. Time out. That's why we're here. How can we face that mindset now? What can we do to face that mindset?
That's what we're doing now. We got to continue to talk to them.
Thank you.
We got to continue to go into the community to conscientize our people.
Thank you.
But gradually, it's not going to happen overnight.
Exactly.
Gradually,
Yeah.
they will understand.
Yes.
They will understand everything, and how it will be wiping away little by little. You see the election we held in 2005, the election 2011. When you look at it, there were little differences in it. And this going election was where that George won. Next election, it will be another thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't be surprised. There will be a young person who might even get into this coming race.
And we don't
Because
forget
right
that.
now,
And we don't forget that.
Yeah, I look at all the leaders now because they are the one we know. But don't be surprised the way the coalition going together. And what I'm hearing, they gotta open up for convention.
Yes.
That's my problem. No matter what Cummings going to go as standard bearer whatsoever, let him go to the convention. If a young man, whether he got money or not, he want to test it, give him the time to go. If the people said this young man got better ideas, we can carry as a standard bearer, give him a chance.
That's what we're talking
Don't
about.
push it.
That's exactly what
Don't
I'm
push it on the table. You see, that's a problem. Like Bromsky want to go all the time because he's the standard bearer.
And that's wrong.
It's the same with the CDC. That's why today I tell you, and why he maybe got a problem with George because he told George you got to give up chair at the time they lost the 2 elections. Why he said, and Toba,
Okay.
say, man, I think you need to give chair. People got pissed off. People got pissed off about it. But it's always, now you look at ANC. Who got the money ANC? They look at Cummings. Even if you want to go against Cummings in the primary, you will get my judge and person, my man, we're not carrying you the way you broke. We're not carrying you. Kill him right there. Because it's one of the things like brother telling you.
So then what you think Cummings should be saying two-way when those things are going on? What should be the role of Cummings now?
Yes, Cummings need to let people to understand it's not the money. It's not about the money. If this man is better than me, carry him. But I'll tell you that not everybody can say it. Not everybody got that wisdom. Some people just put their look. Some people don't want to even settle for. I put something on the internet. I say, why Cummings cannot contest the senatorial position? Everybody got pissed off. And then I made a comment. I said, listen, working in a corporation and to control a government are two different things. It's not the same.
Yep.
Corporation, you want to do everything to make profit. You don't give a damn. When you pass the law, you pass the law. But in government, they got 3 branches. One little statement you made might kill a lot of people.
Yes.
or might help them. So when you get into, when you start from even a local organization, when you work your way up, you understand how people live and how they understand things.
They need an experience.
And leadership, not everybody, your education do not make you to be a leader.
Nope.
You can get the best degree.
Nope.
Still, leadership is something unique, and some people are born with it. Yes, I understand they can train to be a good leader, but you got to be an exceptional person who want to listen, who want to learn.
Yes.
But some people are just gifted. You know what I'm saying? Why you say, but when this boy don't even have a master, you don't have a BSc, but look at all the people working with him. They got PhD, they got this boy. If you open your mouth, everybody listen.
Yes.
That is leadership. You know what I'm saying? So, but we need to talk to our people. We need to conscientize them.
Yeah.
Don't just look at the president. We need to even look at the community, our community leaders, because that's where the corruption starts from. Right in the community themselves, they stay not faithful. Now, for us, you hear some guys criticizing government. They ain't got nothing in the way. They're walking around. By the time they call them and give them one job, the next thing, their tone change. They're different. So for Liberians, I don't know where we're from. Let me tell you, sometimes I sit down, I don't want to come on Facebook. I wonder, I say, is that because the history of Liberia where when they collected the other slaves, because the slaves came from different places, and they just dropped them in Liberia. So you cannot find 40% or 50% Liberian with the same ideas. We are very good individually, we're doing good.
Yeah.
But put us together and see whether we can agree. If it's not me, it shouldn't be you.
Yeah.
You know, that is why today, George, we are president. Because the people we're depending on could not even go in a room and come up with a leader. It happened Charles Taylor time. They were putting a coalition together to go against Charles Taylor. Charles Taylor was so afraid. I will tell you the real truth. Charles was afraid. But when they went to that coalition, some of them because of money, some of them because of power, greed, they broke away. And in real life, even George we are today, if they go against George we are with what the things say, with 14 parties, 16 parties, 20 parties, he's going to win again. He's going to win.
And you all,
because
by the
time you go to that second round,
record for that tonight. You on record for that.
Yes. By the time you get into the second round, then you know Liberian men talking about now, what in there for me? Although I was against you, and I'm the leader, I said, what in there for me? Okay, man, I'll get this. Okay, I will support you. You see?
Is that right?
But yeah, we don't respect. Look, and one of the things, we do not respect each other. My man, if you're an engineer, I should respect you for what you do.
Yeah.
If this man a sweeper, I should respect that man for the job, because that man bringing food to his table. You know, some of us now who doing certain jobs in America that in Liberia, you couldn't have done it.
So, Money, let me ask you. You struck up good point here in between all your stuff. But I underscore one. So now that people get in mind that we might go for a second round. Are you telling us that if the election ever go to the second round because of a third party in our race, so you say one person will emerge or will appear? So are you telling us that if we ever go to the second round, all these guys you see around here call themselves politicians, they're going to go to the leader and say, what is that for me? And they're going to compromise the party interest?
Yes. No, the politician themselves, the leader, he might say, listen, I'm not supporting you. But your supporters, are they going to follow you? Are they going to follow you? Because the man, let's say, okay, let's put it instead of CDC. Right now, CDC is raising, when I say raising money, they got money to run for the next election.
Yeah.
Now, they can go into the second round and say, okay, you see that community over there? We know we're not too good in it. That leader in our community say he's not supporting us, but we'll go in there, we carry bag of rice in that place. By the time you give it to the guy, they're going to vote for it. My man, I saw the thing with my own eyes. I tell you today, when I will run campaign in Liberia, I don't need to go to University of Liberia and pay nobody's school fees. I don't need to even pave no road. I know the strategy now because I saw it. It happened. We gave $1.2 million to University of Liberia for scholarship fund. We went to schools. We created the chicken soup factory road. On the day for election, 2 superintendents from the chicken soup factory market and the Douala market, they came to us. we should give them we gave them $2.1 million Liberian dollars for what? To transport people. Oh, you know, got to transport people to go vote. Then when I got up in the morning, I saw the yard so packed. They said, "Oh, Papa, we yellow vote. Yeah, my voting card here." So I said, "But what you want to do? Oh, we ain't get transportation." So I said, "Good. I will blow for a bus to drop you, which I know you ain't care." They said, "No. Just give me $5. I will pay my way." Then one guy came and said, "Listen, go and vote. When you finish voting, you come back with a picture." No, they try there. They try going to vote. They try when the voting booth. They cast a vote. They selfie. They show it at with their face, and they took a picture. When I came, and let me talk to them. That one guy, he not lie to the children. When I came, I said, "They finish voting. We keep our $5 bucks." I said, "For what?" They showed me the picture. I said, "For what?" They said, "But and your brother said that man wanted to mess." I said, "Oh," I said, "Why you tell the train? The train want you to pay."
Wow.
So that group, no matter what, that's why I said, let me tell you something. If you got money, you can change the system. I can pay you for the first time and I win. But you should be fair to yourself. If you win, you can change them around and make them to understand that, listen, guys, y'all give me the leadership, but I'm not forgetting you.
So are you saying money is the quick fix to facing the problem?
100%.
Okay,
Yes.
So hold on. What is the long-term solution? Going back to the
Now,
educational system and teaching our people responsibility?
go no. That's the thing now. The first thing when you leave from here and go to Liberia, the first thing they ask you, okay, you are in America for 20 years. What you did for us? Do you think by right you are supposed to do something for them? No. But you carry ideas. He said, listen, this is why we can build our community. We can do this.
And money, I will do stop and go for you over there. So please bear with me. The question about you were in America, what have you done for us? Where did that idea came from? Who introduced that idea?
Let me tell you, who introduced the idea? You see the politicians that the one who in Liberia, who been there for so long, who already solid on the ground, but they travel to now. They're telling the people, you see that man over there? That man, Jack Camille, that for election business, right after the election, that man going back. That had a person the people mind. Now, and let me tell you, there's a guy in Nuku Town.
And then what would make them to ask that question? Because number one, you told the man coming for this. So then, how did that part got into their mind to say, what have you done for us? How did you come into that picture now?
Okay, now, the best way to solve that whole problem, because you see, it's like I'm coming to you for the first time. That's my responsibility to make sure that you trust me. I'm just meeting you. Now I will come and talk to you for the first time. By the time I leave, the man who's on the ground say, listen, don't listen to him. I'm supposed to come back to you again for the second time. Because if I talk to you one time, if I speak with you one time and walk out,
that's now don't do.
And don't show up, you say, but that man, I true, the man just lied to me. But I will make sure I come back again and say, my brother, I'm staying around here. We eating the same driver together. If I leave, the man who are running against, who be in that place will come by. He said, don't mind him. That man, he's a criminal from America. When you go look again, you see the man coming by. He said, but how can they say that man, he's not coming by? The man continue to show interest in us. And to be frank, they are easy to convince. I went in our whole mosque, they are very easy to convince, but it's up to you. You cannot visit them one time. You got to go 2, 3, 4. Let them gain that confidence.
What I want to get from you here, and you just brushing around it, is you said earlier, not earlier, but a few minutes ago, that they will ask you, what did you bring for us, or what have you done for us? Where that question coming from? I mean, where are you coming from when they say, what have you done for us? How is it coming into the picture?
Do you know how, the way you're saying it, that's not how the people in Liberia think about it. Because some guys left from here 2005. They've been in our country, they're in and out, but they're there all the time. Some of them, they never had nothing. Some of them were lucky to become representative. These are the people now telling people on the ground that, oh, I've been here with you whole day. I don't want to talk this way. I did this other one. I did this for you. So this now you still imagine where The guy in District 6, that one I represented, you know how he started? He went there, he had a foundation, a charitable foundation from a church. And to be frank with you, when that guy started, some people who really got a sense said, this guy looking for something. And for true, he built hospital and little clinic. He dug well all over the place. He all in a different group. When this election came, when he knew that Edwin Snow never had nothing strong, he decided to get in the race. And when he got in the race, it was a free thing for him. Everywhere you go, he say, oh, that man, I beg you, that man get a cleaner down the road. But that guy opened a little foundation, getting money from America, and that was what most of the guy now. It's bad. Why you think Cummings had to go? Because a lot of people never knew Cummings. Cummings' problem was not a lot of people never knew. So Cummings had no option but to spend money, go place to place, help with schools, just to know you.
So,
my man, it's bad. It is bad.
So, I'm getting your picture, and you paint a very good picture here. So, what I'm getting from you here is, number one, the old hair politician, they decide to carry out initiatives, not on promise, but quick convincing initiative.
Yeah.
Well, putting people to school, their children to school.
Yeah.
Which is the opposite of modern politics, where the man say, I will promise to do this for you. So,
yeah,
people mind from what I'm getting from you. If you go there and say, you know what, I will build you guys a school or well when you elect me, you're not going to win.
You know, let me get one parable. You know what I can tell you? Because I heard it before and I heard it. And they said, that true dry meat sweet. But I will be eating until the meat get dry. By the time I finish voting for you, you forget about me. So let me eat right now. And you know, I sat up for long, I said, you know what, they're right. Because most of the people they have been voting for, when they get into that office, the next thing they in tinted glass, they pass by. I will tell you what the guy that did, they represented from District 17, what his name said, from Cape Man, your Vabo. He paid for his vote. I sat down with Kia Zulu. Kia Zulu told his people, he said, listen, y'all will have to give me break for 2 years. Kia Zulu paid people $5, $10. He said, I owe your jack after 2 years before I start doing the work in the District 17. So you can tell me nothing because I pay you guys for the vote. So, I sat up for long. Look at the guy and say, you serious? He said, yes.
So you're telling me now that the population, the voters, they are all now like contractors.
60 or 65% of the voters in Liberia, I'm telling you, seriously. And I will tell you who the group. You see the market women? You see the market women? You see the young boys, the boys and who's selling in the street before. Forget about the Zogo, that's somebody get 4 or 5 cards. So I don't listen to them. I tell you, some of them have 2, 3 cars in the pocket, voter registration card. They can sell one to you, they still get another one. The market women. But now, they live in different places. But for some reason, yes, the president do not control them how to vote. But the president wants you to come into that market and give certain things. Do certain things for the market people. Either you say, okay, no, I know most of your table broke here. I will go and take care of it. But on the day of the voting, they will tell you, say, well, you talk to the president, you talk to us. So, if you get money, I will tell you, according to our population, 20% of the Liberians in our country will listen to you and they will make a sound judgment and tell you, say, listen, Dapo, I can vote for you. I enjoy you, and because of that, I will vote for you. They get the other 20% who not too sure they won't vote for you, but then they know that that guy will not win. So it means they'll be timing that guy too. So they're just in between, and the greedy ones. But the one who you see the keke boys there, the market women there, I'm telling you, according to the honest crook, you call them. Listen, I'm coming to pick you up today, election day. This is the boss that carrying you. When you finish doing your voting, you walk to the house here. There's a man standing over there going to give you $500 liberty. All I want you to do is to do the voting, because all of them got cell phone. All of them got cell phone. And do a selfie with a voting in your hand like this and bring it to me. So that's how Kia Zulu won. And now most of the people won.
So everything you say here is completely contrary to the principle of election.
Yeah.
So
yep.
what can the political leader do? What can the current representative, both House and the Senate, do? What can the government of Liberia do to stop this kind of behavior? Can they do it? Do you think they're willing to do it?
I don't think, because they in there already. They got their base. Let me tell you, they got their base already. So to stop it is a hard thing. Do you know where Muna Pena got all her voters from? They came from District 4. District 4.
And which district she represent?
She in District 9.
How possible can that
Muna
be?
Pena.
How possible can that be?
But listen, that's what happened when I do now.
I see my brother.
Okay, after this election, 2023, there will be new registration. You know what I'm saying? 2023, there will be new registration. Right now, there's no new registration. So, all in District 4, most of them coming from, they will come from Mount Barclay area, coming all the way. They get her about 4 buses on a day to register. She take the bus there. She got people there. They say, man, let's go. You're going to register in District 9. $5. They give you a $5. You get on the bus. You register in District 9. That's why you're going to do a registration. On the day for the election, there will be a bus coming here, and somebody in District 4 who coordinating everything. There will be a bus coming here, will pick you guys up. They will go to District 4 and District 9 and do your voting and come back. My man, I saw 16 years old with a voter registration card in Lagos. You know what she told me? She said, but any people want us to vote.
So just to make sure that those listening to you right now and those that will listen to the podcast, I want to ask you this question. How do you know all these things here? Were you running for office or what?
Okay, you know, I went to Liberia to run campaign for my brother.
Okay.
And I was heading everything. And I will tell you, I made a statement when I said, what?
Your brother ran as one of the candidates?
Independent. In a by-election.
Okay, and this is how you got to
That's how they don't know all these things.
Here.
Good.
Okay.
Yes.
I
went to Liberia.
I just want people to understand.
I visited 17th district in Mosserado County. I spent 1 week in Todi. When I said Todi, my first time. That's why all minutes I said, what I know now about Liberia, if I knew it before, I was not going to waste my time in the gun politics, because it was already set. It was already done. We in America, we think, because the way the people have election here, we think that high will be the same. I never knew, even into Todi, there's certain place of Todi, you got to go into bomb mines, in Kakata, bomb mines, then you come back into Mosserado. Rossville, I never knew you could enter Bombing Hills before you enter Rossville in Mosserado County. So just imagine that how I travel. Nobody said, oh, I saw Moon on the beach. No. And I sat with these people. There's a place called Bonap Farm. I went to Bonap Farm. This boy carried me and said, Papi, I got about 2,000 voter registration cards. I said, you lying. He said, when you pay me, they will come and vote for your brother. I said, you lie. So I went to see. I saw voter registration card with my eyes. They got in a box. The leader, he said, you see all these people, they voted in District 14, which is Vatan, Claratan area there.
Okay.
For Vabuma Conan.
All right.
I said, what?
Thank you.
That's how I know all these things.
I have to call the lecture because you went almost quadruple your time. But thank you for the information. Very helpful.
So I will tell you, if you're going to Liberia, get ready to spend the money when you win. Then you can change. When you win, you can change their mind.
I will say this to your face. I'm not running for public office. I'm a consultant.
My man, go will support you.
Okay.
We'll support you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Wow. Guys, I got carried away, all right? So let me bring few people in here. Those that were in the queue, I will bring you guys on, all right? Let me bring Thomas Awaji here. And then after that, I will bring you on if nobody come after Thomas, all right? Thomas, you heard our brother's story, man. So it's like from what I gathered from that thing, it's going to be difficult for the opposition to win. Because if the representative, they are all in a deal. The politics we're preaching here is going to take a long way to convince these people, and it got to be strategically positioned. We have to start from the classroom teaching to build our ethical standards. We have to engage the community to make sure that they really provide, we provide community leadership. And for the most part, we have to encourage investors. Whether you are a Liberian, forget about what Joe Weah is doing. Because what Joe Weah and the people from what I listen to and you listen to, if we think that the people will get frustrated and they will vote for us, you're getting it wrong, because they already got their Trump card. Election time, they're going to pay all these people to vote for them. But I think one of the ways, like somebody said, I shouldn't give them the idea, but I have to do so. If you are a Liberia investor, you need to go in and start getting a job, because their dependency is in your people's pocket, and the people know how to play the game. They give you $5, take a picture, that you voted for me, you come back, you get $500. If I get that kind of opportunity as a
That's the city of Atlanta. If you
Edition number 16.
How many candidates ran in our place? How many candidates do you remember?
I believe it was wrong. You need
point again, but I want to address it as a Liberian.
Oh, I'm trying to supply free solar light to the people in the villages.
Okay.
Trying to give them the help they need.
Okay.
So that tomorrow, and when I come before them, I can show them, look, I did this for you.
Okay.
I'm here not because of what your other politicians are doing, but I want to help you. I want to open your eyes. These people, the same system they are using to mess up the people, to steal from the people, is the same system I'm going to use to defeat what they are doing.
So you carry on a reverse engineering approach to that thing from the engineering. I'm speaking.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it. And that's why I told you, I said it will take me 10 years because I have to make sure that we have the program in all schools in Liberia.
Okay. Okay.
You see?
Okay.
My brother, those guys, they know what they are doing. That's why they don't care, because they know that when it comes to election, they just need to give the people some rice and few dollars. That's all.
Yeah, I think.
So
I think money really spilled the bean today, and I must commend him for that.
So all the talking we are doing is for nothing.
Yes.
And I understood the system long ago. So I said, you know what? Instead of people talking on social media, I will take the other approach. I will go directly to the people and start helping them.
True.
So that's what I'm doing. That's why I told you it would take me 10 years to make sure I enter all 15 counties, all schools in Liberia, educate the youth that are coming up, because they will be voting in 2 to 3 years from now. They'll be qualified to vote. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get to them.
Thank you.
That's the only way.
Yeah. Sorry for interrupting you. I'm running out of time. All right.
I know.
It's 10 o'clock here. I have to go. I mean, it's 9 o'clock. I have to go pick up the kids. All right.
That's all I want to say, my brother. That's all I want to say.
Message going through. Thank you. Let me bring in Moses. All right. Let me bring in Moses quickly here, because I'm running out of time. Asa, I can bring you back here again. Asa, what I want you to do for me, Asa, I want you to bring Representative Kesuru here, so by the American standard, we all can create him. So please, you owe me one, Asa. I want you to bring that man here. That man went to school here. Just been in us here. You bring the professor here. This man, he's a strong man. Oh Lord, I can't ask him where he's from again. I just got to guess. If I ask you from, is that Texas or Arizona?
Arizona. Arizona.
You know, on my mind. I sure I said it. But anyway, welcome to the show, Chief. And thanks for your education that you provided over there. I mean, my boy is doing well over there too. So I want you to tell us tonight, all right? Because we discussed so many things, and by the way, you're going to take us home now. So you're the last guy here for the night, all right? Now that I pick you to be the last, you keep me lucky at the last time. So don't say I will let you make it last. We have been talking about changing the mind of the youth. You listen to everyone. You are a very young guy. What can you do now to persuade your peers back home in order to now vote for what they can get? What are some of the strategies?
First of all, I'd like to say thank you so much for the platform, and I want to say happy belated birthday. Actually, yesterday, I meant to call you, but
you see my new t-shirt, my program for me. My people in my working place celebrated my birthday and all. Yeah, when they birthday, those people call me in the office. I got a call. The secretary called me, and I went in the conference room. They said we got a quick meeting. When I got there, the whole room was dark. Happy birthday. I felt so embarrassed and I started to cry because I have not seen some
Oh,
family like that. But thank you so much for wishing me. I wanted to just share that story with you guys. There are some nice people
yeah.
here. They make you feel at home to work. So I just want to share you. But thank you too for that too. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, just before I address your question, I'd like to recognize my good friend Hassan here, who was on not too long ago. I've known Hassan from we were in the same camp together back in Guinea.
Yeah.
Back in the days when I used to play football, I think Hassan was on my cheering squad.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do miss this man, man. He's always been a good guy, very very intelligent, very wise. So I want to commend him and respect him for keeping that trajectory.
Yeah.
However, let me address your question, and I'll address your question. I don't want you to say from a psychological standpoint again, but I want to address it as a Liberian. I think one of the first thing we have to do is to provide education to our people, because you
True.
see, education has the potential and the ability of providing knowledge and exposure to some
True.
extent.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the very first route I would like to go in, if I will approach the youth of Liberia, is to provide education. But not only that, one of the things I would like to do before I take any other step apart from education
Mm.
is to be able to understand the minds of the young people there.
Yes.
Because you see, I don't want, I want to be afraid to just take the system that we have here and then we get there, it doesn't work, because
Yeah,
that's a different environment.
but even Hassan said that too. Hassan said that he took our approach,
Yes.
but he got to push back. So
Exactly. So we based on the geographical location and the cultural difference as well, we
yeah.
do not want to use certain approach that we use here. Then you know what we do? It will create less interest from the people there. They will not want to get involved because they have seen some of these things. They
Yeah.
have seen people come from here before, either manipulated them, misused them, and just got what they wanted. And so they will be a little skeptical and afraid. So I would like to do an assessment of the young people there, based on what they need and what they want and how do they want to get this. And
Yeah.
based on that, then I can draw a plan strategically to be able to see if their wants, needs are I will call it.
But let me ask you this quickly here because we have less time. With
Mhm.
all the different talk shows, guys, that we see on Facebook,
Right.
because we in the diaspora, one of our major failures is the fact that we are not recognizing the challenges back home from a future perspective. We have been
Indeed.
recognizing the challenges based on individual preference, and that's not
Right.
going to help the country. Because from what
True.
Money just said about voters getting paid, the government
Yes.
has an advantage right now. The government has
True.
an advantage. So
I agree.
you think we can rather support with the different talk show people? And do you think it's going to be a done deal?
Well, Randy, if you can record me, one of my messages that I've stood on for this year, the end of last year up to this year, and I stand on it consistently, is unity. Because unity has the ability, first of all, we must first unite before we can decide on a strategy to imply.
Yeah.
We must first unite as people. We must. So if we are going to change anything in Liberia, we must unite. And that is to say that we must coordinate our message. Our message should be one, because if the message keeps going and we are united in providing this message, I can assure you that as time goes by, the message will resonate and will be the new song in the town and people will have to dance with it. But if we are divided, then it will pose a serious problem, threat, and confusion for the people on ground as well. So I think the very first approach is that we should unite first and decide on which message we want to send out to the people. Unity is the way forward first. Then when we unite and come to the table, then I can ask you, Randy, ask Hassan, ask Costa, ask Prophet Key, ask Yasendi, ask Chief Colley. Gentlemen, what message are we sending to our people back home today? Let's coordinate this message, because if you are coming on, and this is one of the things that I pray every day that I will see, the unity starts from here, and we disseminate the information to our people back home.
Do you think? Okay, my final question: do you think all the people you are listed, can they look upon themselves and forget about those politicians that represent George Weah and find a better candidate to beat George Weah? Do you think that can be possible? Because that was the key thing in tonight's discussion. I am saying those four politicians, they are doing their fair share. If I were in America here, they will not be representing the party anymore based on the standards.
Okay.
Now I'm saying, from 1968 to 1980, there are many Liberians who have acquired better education, more job experience in very diverse backgrounds. Can we begin to plan and get a better candidate that will take on George Weah other than those 4 people?
Well, in the context of better candidate, you got to be able to specify some things, because it could be better candidate in my view could be age, could be limited to age, it could be limited to education. So can you specify what you mean by better?
I just gave you the range from 1968 to 1980. Those are born between them.
Right.
We found a candidate, because if you look at that range, there are many Liberians from 1968 or 69 to 1980. They are not 60 years old. Indeed. They are under 60. They are under 50.
Right.
Can we look for somebody in our group that align with today's generation that they can use to go against President Weah, other than looking at the 4 politicians? Can we unite on that? Because
first of all,
we are the youth. We have confidence. We should build confidence in ourselves.
Right. First of all, I like to answer your question by saying the idea of looking for a new candidate, in my view, at this junction, at this point, the idea of looking for a new candidate will create another opportunity for Liberian people to say, we don't know this person, we are not used to this person. This person. Hold on. Let me answer as you have asked me. Let me lay my point, because I will not suggest or suppose the idea of looking for a new candidate. However, I will suggest and suppose that we get a young man on board now. We get a young man or a young lady on board now that will start the process of working with the people, gaining the confidence of the people, start doing something tangible, start making impact in a way that they will resonate in the mind of the people while we are forming unity to support this person. Then when we get to 2020, we can come to the table and say, you know what, oh man, your own or this other person, let's position this young face. I don't want us to rush with this idea of presenting a young person, because you see, one of the things we will face problems with is if you present a young person that is not knowledgeable, that has no experience, it will become a sin problem. Then you know what? I will rather judge. We are be dead because that person might make worse mistake, not understanding the intertotals and not understanding how to be able to run a government or how it is structured.
Okay.
So I suggest let's push a young person in front to work with the people.
In all fairness to you, I did not state the question right to you.
Okay.
When I spoke about young generation, you get Darius Dillon,
right?
You got Melvin Page, you got Orisha Boo. These are young people in a different political party.
True.
And I don't know when you joined the show, but these are people that we're talking about.
Okay.
Because they are in the party, they are on the ground, they understand the culture. So as far as the other element you add in there to make them more popular in the eyes of the Liberian people,
yes,
they are already popular. So when I posted the question to you, I did not specify the subjects in that question. But earlier when I was bringing those things out, it can be Darius Dillon, it can be Wilmer Page, it can be somebody else that is already into that generation that is in the political party.
Okay.
Can we together influence those guys? Unite, talk to the economic freedom boys, talk to the Liberian students, and those guys, can they find among themselves who is the right person that will come down, meet the generation that we're talking about, how we can come? Because in my opinion, and I will tell you this, based on what I said earlier and based on what I heard from Money and from Thomas, the way the advantage the government got in Liberia, and the way the people are voting, you pay me, I go vote for you. It's giving George Weah an advantage already. And then number 3, no politician representing, those guys already know their scorecards. They know what they had done. So it's going to be a challenge for the opposition. But if they can bring in a young guy who will be able to stand before them, okay, the guys, somebody said, Gafon, Ama Kone, and I mean, your man Ama Kone and Gafon, the 2 people they got, on my radar. They got some approval. They need your kind of
Come on, Rennie,
yeah.
You see, in unity we must all come together on a table to be able to have a common goal. I want to agree with the aspect of unity that you were speaking of. I want to agree with 100%. However, I still don't want us to jump the gun to start making this about who can defeat Jowia, because this is not about Jowia.
No. Hold on that. If you want to make perfect sense, you should start to establish the facts here. Those 4 people that presented over there, one of them will take on Jowia, and you know they will not win.
Well, no, you can't say that. I can't say that.
No,
I can't say that.
They will not win.
They will not win. Let me learn what I was saying.
Don't waste your time. They will not win.
Let me learn on what I was saying.
These people have done their part. There is no way the Liberia people will vote for these people. They will not win. And this is where now I will question your sincerity to Liberian. You see many dollars they don't over there. You see many American page. These are people in the party, and you telling me that, oh, don't talk about that now. Then I will find you to be one of the insincere young men who don't understand the political culture of Liberia. You got a bunch of people who the Liberia deny, and you standing here telling me that, oh, don't do this. Let me refer to you. You see, some of the things that you guys can do. Let's say a minute you were in Liberia. you will say, oh, this. The reason, okay, the reason I'm saying this, these people have done their part. The Liberian people rejected them. The people, the generation is growing in age and immaturity.
The Liberian people rejected George Weah twice.
All right, Darrell Dillon and the other young people. George Weah will run twice, but his age is different from
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's focus on the context of this conversation. Let's focus on the context of this conversation.
These guys are getting old. But let's think it. Mr. Weah is in a position as an opposition. And you listen to what Money said. I don't know why you listen to Money. These guys are using money to influence the election. You say you want to plan. If you come to plan, and the man tell you, say, my man, election tomorrow, can you give me $25 to go vote for you? And you say, oh, let's talk about it. No. The way you can reduce that mindset is to bring people that look like them and begin to convince them. But I will allow you to say your say. But I can guarantee you, I don't put a show over there. You'll go back your last salary.
So here's it. Here's it. Just for the record's sake, I've told you before, I've never contributed to any political party. I'm not part of any political party.
No Liberian man will tell me nothing. I don't trust.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me.
I can trust.
It doesn't matter to me. But let's get back on the record. Let's get back on the record.
I run out of time now. So quickly, 1 minute.
Let's get back on the record. Again, I go back to my previous statement. I don't think the goal should be about defeating John Weah. Because if that is a goal, then we could have different people coming up and saying they want to run and they want to run. Like I said before, that's why you never let me to land. Like I said before, I think establishing the first thing we should do is the unity, getting everybody to come on the table. Then we can make a decisive decision on who we want to push. However, I stand with my comment that it is important for us to bring the young people on board. It is important for us to bring young people on board and introduce them to the party, give them the ability to be able to acquaint themselves with the people that are good. Then, at least, when let's say, for example, Mela Darrell Dillon right now, if you get Darrell Dillon to be part of, let's say maybe the coalition that they have right now, and he's playing the key in a strategic role, and these other guys are grooming him, and pushing him to some of the riders. He's going there, he's speaking, he's making impact, he's making influence, he starts to gain ground. Don't you think strategically this is where we are headed? Instead of sitting on this thing and saying, let's push Darrell Dillon. No, let's relax, unite, bring Darrell Dillon there and the other young people on board, see the ability and what they bring to the table, groom them. Come in 2023, then we'll make a final decision and put our support behind it. This is my point. I am not saying young people shouldn't go. I'm not saying young people shouldn't go. But I don't want us to rush the gun and go get and say, let get rid of the paper there, let get rid of the other people.
Thank you. You know, you for our state, that have failed senators that did not win in the American politics. So I understand your point. All right? We from the East Coast here, we have produced a president in this place here.
My
So,
man.
so thank you. I love your idea, though.
My
I
man,
love
that's
your
all we need to
idea.
do. That's all
All
we
right.
need to do.
No, but
Because the
your point is
truth of
well
the
taken. Your point is well taken. Your every ideas will make sense. Your point is well taken. There are some things
yeah,
that you say that make sense, and I agree with that.
you know the
But
truth. You know the truth. You know the truth. Let me just be very frank with you. We cannot just jump on and get rid of the puppy then. But we need to bring somebody strategically. My man, I'm
you
speaking
know
from the
what you need to
psychological
do? You know
standpoint.
what you need to do?
No.
You need to go by and listen to the show. Then when you come to what you're saying, and then you say, "Oh, I think I need to call my man not only for post birthday, but I think I got the idea." So I will encourage you to go by and listen again, and then we'll meet next time. Let's compare notes. All right?
No, most definitely. All
All
right,
right.
thank you. All
All
right.
right, bro. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm coming to the end of the show now. I gotta go. But here is my point. The youth in the country need to build a self-confidence. Tyrone Dillon been in that party for a very long time. Mr. Dillon, not that I'm campaigning for him, but I'm going to give you a perfect example. Mr. Dillon has worked in every fabric of that Liberian government. I see Gaffon here too. I see Amara Corner. But these guys, they have some issue that they are yet to clear up when it comes to me. And I hope you can also bring the guy here too, Hassan. I want you to bring Mr. Gaffon here. I want you to bring Mr. Corner here. Because these guys, when I watched them under the Eddie administration, there was some little, when you put somebody on the infrared or when you do a scan or CAT scan or MRI, I've seen some images on these guys that I'm yet to convince myself that those things are part of their system. No. Until they can come here, I will still have issue with them. So if you want to do yourself a favor, how you promised me to get Mr. Representative Kezuri here, they can come here. I don't have to take any course. I can block anybody, but I want to interact with them. All right? I want to interact with them. Amara Conan was here when I was doing my undergraduate program at Temple. He was at Drexel. So I know him very well. I for Gafon, I don't know Gafon. But I want you to bring those guys in here. Let me talk to them because what is on my mind, or what the things that are on my mind for them, I'm sure many of the guys have that same thing, and when they come here, we'll be able to ask that question. So as far as Gafon and the guy go, they have some tinted thing on their character that I will be fair to you here. All right? Because one of the questions I want to ask Amara Pone, he paid off his student loan at Drexel, one of the most expensive college university. He want to be politician, he had to tell the Liberian people that, Hassan, let's be fair here. See what your man Kezulu, how he went to Harvard, want to know. Because you know what? This man called Barack Obama, when he became president, he had just finished paying his loan off. And we had know that because he told the people of Liberia, the people of the world and the American people. That's the standard I want to hold these people up to. So bring bring our fellow Liberian brothers, and I will ask them those questions and let them provide. Hassan, I believe in the youth. Most of them has been in Akode for a very long time. And if you say we shouldn't go and stand before we are, there are people complaining about we are behavior. So you allow we are to continue that behavior. We all check him for the 6 years he's going to spend there, and yet want to start breeding people. No. We need to empower the youth of Liberia to make them to feel important in our country. By right, the age of 35 is the basic age to run for president in Liberia. These guys that they presented the other time, they have what? Let's see what? Remember, student loan can be waived. Oh my man, you myself. Student loan can only be waived if you work in the government, if you go on a Peace Corps volunteer. So as I don't go there, trust me. I've been there and I've done that many times. That's how student loan can get waived. Amara Pone did not work on any volunteer role to pay student loan here. To get a student loan erased. I got a friend that work in Delaware, New Jersey with the state government. That loan has not been waived yet. I still owe my loan from Denver. Denver is a private school that took my loan up higher than my Temple University. I still paying on that loan. The only thing I love my private sector because they making me to feel happy. Because the government will not give you anything higher. They pay you low, but they give you more medical facility. So don't speak for Amara Corner. Don't speak for Gafwan. Don't speak for Kezulu. Let them all come here so we can talk that talk. All right? My brother, we still waive student loan. Kezulu, the men are coming for you. We still waive it, but let me know so I can go there. But we'll talk about that. So let me my conclusion here, all right? My conclusion here is I want the youth to be empowered to take on responsibility. Let them come into the fray of our politics. Let us encourage them. There is no written script to say you are 100% clear to become a leader. No. Everybody come to the table with some challenges that will make them to have some learning curve. So if you're waiting that until things get perfect, there is not a perfect storm in reality, most especially in politics. So I'm saying the youth should be empowered. Alexander Cummings, Mr. Ure, Mr. Bronsky, and Omen Joe, they can serve as the grand poobah, all right? The grand poobah of the party to help guide the Darius Dillon, guide them, Wilmer Pay, guide them, Orisha Gu, guide them, and even the President Weir, after his time is finished, they can also find another young person to guide them. Because at the end of the day, we must have youth. Every 20 to 23 years make a generation. Are we going to wait until Darius Dillon or somebody else 10, 60 years old before they can become president? No. People have the opportunity. My man Hassan, your message waiting for you. Look, guys, let me thank you guys so much. Oh, tomorrow, I keep promising you guys. There's a project by the World Bank to redo all the piping system in Morovia. I just got that from the World Bank. Very good. It's 123-page documents. But somebody said, Randy, that's a good news. But do we trust the government to do it? So we'll be discussing that tomorrow. All right? So let me thank you guys so much for the opportunity. I love you guys so much for all the inputs. Tonight, it was a very, very interesting night. And I look forward to that. All right? Abel, you just joining. I'm about to leave. So thank you guys so much. Tomorrow, I will be here. Hassan, please, when I return from my trip, please try to make time available for your guys. Call me up. I'll send you my office number. I'll send you my cell phone number. Call me up. Let's make that thing happen. Let's make it happen that we can get these people here. Let them try to talk. If they get the potential to run a political office, let them start it on this show. Because when I see the interest, trust me, the next show you'll be making, I'll be going after you. So I can go there. But I'm not going to go campaign for them freely. I have to get my part of cut. That my boss Thomas said, he can't work for nobody free. So if I'm going with you down there, I'm not going to campaign freely. Because I know right now, your men can do over there, there are some leverage and privilege you have right now, which I don't have. So if I'm going there, well, I'll sign the deal here before we leave from here, all right? So bring the guys in on, man, all right? Bring the guys in on. Let me see here. There are a lot of work that need to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching that. The first video was done last year. The first one where I was giving Mr. Cummings the advice that was done last year. It just came back this today as a 1 year video, but the one that you just came from watching, that was in 2019. All right, 2019, and excuse me, that was when you saw all the guys in Mose, Kezulu, Monique Shen. When I used to criticize Joe's reality, all used to come and add their voices to that. And sometimes when I'm less busy, I come from work, I believe that looking back into my digital library, take some of the videos out and play them for you guys, because I know many of you guys don't know me from even 2017. But the good thing here is I tend to keep the videos for people to get to see. So those of you who were fortunate to be here, you now know the relationship between most of these guys that you will continue to see. Even the Kev Hassan man, I got 2 videos of him. One where he told me that his parents came from Sierra Leone and he was born in Liberia and stuff like that. So over time, as the opportunity present itself, I will go into my video library and bring some of the video out for you guys to get to see. Because the interesting thing about the conversation between Moses always used to come to give me hell. Yes, every time Moses come, we used to go back and forth with the argument and stuff like that. But looking at today, who we see that Dawit Dillon is senator. He was not senator. We also see Amara Kone returning to the country, want to be in government. So those are the people we're talking about in 2019 that who are taking power. But today now you find every one of them in their way. So sometimes I go back into the video to see how our conversation went, not just about the topic, but some of the reaction, how we react to team and stuff like that. And what I noticed about myself, I did a lot of interruption, and most of the time when people are like, oh my man, yeah, oh my man, yeah. So when I'm watching it now, I be like, geez, how can I make myself better? And I learned this thing from my speech communication class. And, I love to go over my videos to see what I went and what I need to do to improve on it and how we have changed over time. I mean, you see Moses over there, you see Monique Shem. That was in 2019, a year after Mr. Weah became president. And how long I've been, talking against Mr. Weah, doing the right thing, Mr. Cummings doing this, doing that. So I mean, so yeah, so that's it. So we're going to close the show now, and I'm going to come on here. Yes, here. So let's just take a quick time out. I'm going to close the show now, and then we'll come back. Maybe tomorrow we'll see. Don't forget, tomorrow will be our broadcast into Liberia. Let's see what's going to happen there next. So get ready. I'm about to sound on this phone here. So please join me. Let's try. Tonight's topic, we're going to look at now that Nathaniel McGill and others have resigned, what is next for the Weah administration? What is next for opposition? Is Weah in a better place now? And so what next for Mr. Weah? So join me. We are taking enough time. Probably we'll run it here to maybe 9 o'clock, 9:15. And I think we had done enough here for the night. So please join me. I'm shutting down this program now and join me out here quick.